Today we're going to be taking a look at Caroline's Bakery and Dry Goods. So to start, you'll want to go to the URL /wp-admin, and then this is where you'll log into the back end of your website, and you'll put in your username and password to log in, and it'll come up right here. So the stuff on the right hand side is not super important. It's not really what we're looking at. The main things that we want to look at are over here on the left. And so I'm going to go down through the list of each thing and just kind of show you how all of these items work, and hopefully this will it'll be a good start for you to updating things on your website. So to start, updates, this is where your plugins that were used for your website and themes will be, and occasionally they will need to be updated, but we go through regularly and update those for you. So sometimes there will be updates here and there'll be a little number here, but we regularly update all of the sites that we manage, so you don't ever have to worry about this at all if you don't want to. Moving on, posts is for people who use blog posts, which you're not using. It's just a test post. And under that is media. This is where all your photos, or if you ever upload any PDFs, would be located. So any of these photos that you've given us, or stock photos that we've got, whatever, it's all in here, and you can see them, you can edit them through here, or they're accessible through any of these other items where you'll need them, but that's what the media library is. So you can always add media from here by dragging them or selecting them. Moving on to forms. Looks like you're not currently using any forms on your website. This is where you could have a contact us form if you ever wanted to make one, and if you do decide you want to make one, we can talk about that at the time, but looks like you're not currently using that, so we'll just move on to pages. I'm going to open another tab with your site in it here. So pages are just any of these items that have information on them. And so once you've logged in, there's a little edit button here. You can always click on that and edit the page from there, or you can go into pages. And so we'll click on bakery and take a look at what this looks like. This really works like any word processor, like Microsoft Word or something like that. You have all these options here. And then a featured image down here. So we've used the pies for your bakery page. So how you would choose that is just, there's going to be a select featured image button or remove featured image, or you can click on it and then you can choose a different one if you want, and then click set featured image. And so the title of the page goes here, and then we have a header, or so it says bakery right there, and then we've got pull up a chair, relax, and enjoy. That's in heading 2, but you can change the size through here. And then you can bold or italicize. You can add a bulleted list or a numbered list. You can align it differently. You can hyperlink to a different page within your site. So if you had a page just for donuts, you could add a link and then put that URL, or search for that page here. So it would show up here if you had that page. Whatever you wanted to do, you could hyperlink it somewhere else. You can add a photo within the page by adding media here and choosing one of these photos and add it right there within the page. If you had a form, you could add it within the page right there. And those are the main things. So if you can come in here and change any of your wording that you'd like, and then just hit update when you're done. So all your pages are right here under pages. I think everything just works. They're all the same. All those pages are the same. Yeah, so you've got a map right here on your contact page. That's what this short code is for. And then this is hyperlinked to, so that when someone clicks on this, it'll just go directly, it'll open up a mail thing for them. So that's hyperlinked. And you can edit it here. You can change that out if you want to, and then just always hit update. And there's no featured image on this page. Just looks like that. So moving on to Comments would be like if you had a blog, which you don't, so you don't need to worry about comments. Homepage areas is the next thing we want to talk about. And as you could imagine, homepage areas are these different areas on your homepage. So this top area it's called Revolution Slider or Slider Revolution. So in the slider homepage area, all we have is short code. And I'll talk about Slider Revolution when we get down here. But the other areas are the ones that we've got formatted in different ways. So I'll go through and show you kind of how we did those. So starting with the About page, again, this is going to look just like a page. Up at the top here, you've got all your different things that you can do, bold, italicize, you can align it differently or give it different headings. So this big, you want About Caroline's is in header 1, and that's why it looks like that. Then we've got that photo here that you added through Add Media, and then the wording, and all of that is centered. And if you scroll down, this is where this part becomes important for homepage areas. And you may never want to change these. You may like it just the way it is and never want it or need to change it. Or maybe you just need to change the wording on something or take something out. This is where you would do that. You can just take it out and click update, or add words and click update. But we'll go through this just in case you ever do want to add something. There's no background image or color on this one. Just have padding checked yes, and that's the only special thing on here, and that's what gives it some of this padding around the words. So let's take a look at the baked goods one, and then I'll make one and show you just kind of how it's made, and so you know. So this one looks pretty much the same. We've got this in header 1, we've got this all centered up, and then we've got to learn more. And so this is hyperlinked to your bakery page, and then it's also formatted as a button, and that's what gives it this look of a button. And then all of this should be formatted as white text. So scrolling down, we've got a background image, which is the cinnamon rolls, and then a color overlaid over the top of it, which gives it that nice look, and that's what makes the white stand out on it. And then this determines how transparent or opaque, and you can read, it says that there, the color overlay on top of this picture is. You always want to check yes on padding, and that's all we've got there. And so if you ever wanted to change anything, you would just click update. And then you have that map, which is, again, I'll show you down here in WP Google Map, but right here it's just this short code that is copied and pasted here. So let me make a new homepage area and just show you quickly how this works. So you would give it a title just so you could recognize what the title would be. And so then I'll say wow, can't type. So I'm going to go ahead and center all of this, and then I want this to be the header, so I'm going to make it heading 1. Then I want this to be the button, but I need to make sure that I link it to the Contact Us page. Or you can link it to anything. It doesn't have to be, whoops, did that wrong. You can link it to, here's where you would type in Google. You can link it to anything that you want. So then scroll down, we'll choose a background image. And not every image is going to look good. You can play around with it, upload different images, and then let's see what kind of color would look good over the top of, you can just play around with it, or you can always so this, like I said, determines what the color overlay, like how much it is. And then padding, you've got your photo, so we'll click publish. And then if you notice they weren't in the right order right here, So we need to go to reorder and then slider, welcome, about. So it put it right there. So I can change it and put it somewhere else if I want. So let's see what it looks like. So let's refresh our homepage. So I've got that picture. Looks like my text didn't become white, or maybe I didn't click that. So you've got your button here, you've got that picture, and then you can adjust what the color overlay looks like over the top of it. Let's see if that fixed it. I now have white text. There you go. So now it's in white. And then I could reorder it and put it somewhere else, or I could use a different picture. So that's how that works. And so obviously we don't actually want this on your site, so I'm going to throw it away, put it in the trash, and then you'll notice that it ends up in the trash, and you can restore it or delete it permanently from there if you want. So now your site should be back to normal, looking awesome and tasty and everything good. So didn't mess up anything. So we'll move on to the next item. You're not currently using this staff members pod. Genesis is a theme that's for your website. Don't need to worry about that. Under appearance, there are 2 items that we need to look at, widgets and menus. So we'll start with widgets. So for your top part of your website here, this is controlled under widgets. So that's where this is at, and it's also where that menu is located. And then there's some coding that was done, I believe, to give this patterned background behind it. So if you ever change your logo out, would be where you would change it. You could just choose an image and choose a different image, upload it, and then choose a different image to put there. It may not look the way that you want it to, and so if you do run into issues at that time, you can always contact us. And then under here, this just allows us to have those homepage areas. And then let's see where there's in the footer, footer 1, we have these hours here. So that's where we have Monday through Friday, your hours right here. So if these ever change, now you know where to find it in this footer. And just click on hours, and again, just looks like all those other items, all those other pages or homepage areas. You can just come in here and change it, and make sure you hit save. And then you can come in here to location. If your location changes, you can change the address and click save here. And then you've got this other area where it says call us, and that's where the phone number is located. So if you need to change the phone number, you can do that. And this is where your bottom menu is located, and your social media menu. So probably not much that you're going to want to change or add things here, but if you did, the things that you could change, the items that have your hours and location and your phone number are all located in Visual Editor. So if you decided you wanted to add a new section, it might not be formatted to look right, but Visual Editor, you'd come over here, choose where you want it to go, and then add widget. And then you would type in whatever you wanted right here, and then you could drag it wherever you wanted. You could even put it in a different section if you decided. So, and then if you decide you don't want it, you can always delete it. You can do the same thing with an image. You just click on where you want it, or you click on which item you want, where you would want it, add the widget, or menus, which we'll talk about in a minute how we made those, or a form if you ever make a form. So those are the main things there. Don't think that you'll have much issue, but if you just ever change your hours, it's good to know that that's right there. So let's move on to menus. You have 2 menus, a home menu and a social menu. So your home is just the one that's right here at the top. And you just have a few number of pages: home, bakery, fabric, contact. So those are all located over here. So if you ever create a page, it's going to be located over here, and then you can check it and add it to the menu, and it will show up right here, and you can drag it and put it wherever you want. You can make it a sub item like I just did. You can make any of them sub items. But we don't want that, so we'll remove that. And if you want to link to an outside page, so let's say you partner with an organization or something, you can add a custom link and then say whatever you want. And then whatever you put right here as the link text is what shows up here. And you'll just want to be careful about what you would add up here, just because it will grow and might not fit or look the way that you want it to. And so I'll remove that. And then you always hit save menu. So let's look at this social menu real quick. And this is where you have your Facebook and your contact us, which is down here. So these are custom links with just some code in this navigation label to give it the F and the envelope. So let's say you get a Twitter page or an Instagram and you want to do the same thing. Here's how you would do that, because we've got it all set up for you. Just go to custom link, copy and paste your personal Instagram URL, then copy this navigation label from Facebook and put it in link text, and where it says Facebook, type in Instagram or Twitter, whichever one you're using. Then click add to menu and put it where you want it and click save. And then you can always remove it. Click save and you're good to go. And so those are the items. So if you ever think the main thing, if you ever want to add a new page with more information, then you want to add it to your menu. If you make the page up here, it will show up here, and then you can add it and then put it wherever you want. So let's move on. Plugins are what we're using to build your website. Probably not anything you're going to worry about there. Users is where we're going to give you a login with a username and a password. This is where you can come in and change your password, is by coming in here when we give you that. So that's where you can do that. Tools and settings, SEO, not things you're probably going to worry about. Duplicator is something we used when we were launching the website. So let's move to Slider Revolution. That's what created that slide there at the top of your homepage. So you've got the same words on every slide. So let's take a look. So how those words are on every slide is you have this static layer here. So I'm going to click on it. And you'll see it's right here. So if you end up with more pictures and you want to just add them right in there and keep it saying welcome to the good old days, then all you would have to do is, what I would suggest doing is come to one of these slides here, click duplicate, and it will just duplicate exactly what's on this one. And that static layer will be added, and then come into Media Library, upload whatever picture you have of something, some new food item or whatever, upload it here, and then choose it and insert it. And then it's going to look exactly like these other ones. And the static layer will already be on top of it, and you don't even have to worry about it. So then you've just got another slide here. That's the easiest way. If you decide you want to delete one of these slides, you can. If you just want to make it invisible for a while and bring it back later, then you can just click that red button there, and now this slide is no longer visible. And then if you want to bring it back, just click the green check mark. You can also create a blank slide, so add a blank slide. And then you would do the same thing. So come in to the media library, choose whatever image you wanted. And then how these, if you look at this slider, it's zooming in or out or kind of spinning a little bit. How you choose how to do that is through this right here, Ken Burns. So then turn it on, and you can change the background position, so it'll show you over here what that looks like. And it can move this around. And then you can scale in percent here is what's changing, or the rotation if you want to do that. Scaling in will make it look like it's zooming. So from, let's see, and then click save. Let's see if it'll show us right here what that looks like. It's not showing us, but that is how you do it. And then that's the only thing that you would worry about over here on these settings. And then that static layer is automatically added to this slide. But let's say you want to change the wording. Like I said, you can come to this layer and you can change the wording. So click on it. You can change the words. You can change the font. You can change any of this. You would just click on the item and change the wording, and then click this green check. So those are probably all the things that you're going to want to know how to do on Slider Revolution. And if you have more questions, you can always ask us. But you're probably not going to want to change the static layer that's over all of them, and then you know how to change pictures and things like that. So if you need more help, you can always ask us, and just remember to click save whenever you make any changes on your slide. So let's move on to WP Google Map. And, WP Google Map. So let's look at locations. You have a location here. This is your address, and it has your title here, and it is on we have one map here. And so anywhere that map was located, I believe it's on a homepage area, all you have to do is use this short code, copy and paste the short code. So if you wanted to if you guys add a second location, let's say, then you would come in here and put in the location title. You would start typing the address, whatever it would be, and then it's going to bring up items, and it's going to know, it's going to find it. And so, obviously this isn't accurate, but you start typing it in and it will automatically fill in the latitude and longitude. And then you just come down and click save location. And once you do that, you can say manage maps, and you can click on this map. So let's say we want to edit this map. And everything is set up just how it needs to be in here. So it has a title. We've got it set at 100% and 500 pixel height. You probably don't want to mess with any of this. The zoom level, that's how far zoomed in or out it is. And then we've got the scroll zoom disabled, because when you scroll over it, you don't want it to zoom. And then if you added a new location, it would show up right here, and you could click it and check it, and then click save map, and then you would have two little markers on your map. Probably not going to need to know how to do that, but that's just in case that you do. So yeah, or if you, let's say if your location changes, then you can come in here and edit this in the same way that I showed you how you add a new one, and then you can change the address or the title if you change your name or whatever. Those would be how you would update that. And again, probably not going to do that, but just in case you ever want to. So those are the main things for your site down here on the left hand side. If you have trouble with anything or you need help, you can always contact us, but I think that should get you a good start in updating the things that you'll need.